So with the combination of, me getting banned, knowing all this information of what was happening to kids, like ritual sacrifices.
I've witnessed thousands of murders, largely of children of color, who were systematically targeted for their race by the white supremacist government. Wealthy, aristocratic white women ordering children of color on men.
We also have a church, our own big church, and we use it for sex, eating baby, drinking baby's blood.
And in particular, there was something that we all found out about Frazzle Drip. And Frazzle Drip is allegedly Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin basically ritually hurting a child to the point where this part of their face was ripped. I'm going to post that in this video as well. So remember, I gained this knowledge through this group. And now that I got banned, I was still focusing on Young Pharaoh's teachings. And through Young Pharaoh, I actually became more in love with myself as a Black woman. Because let me tell you something. Growing up, I wasn't really proud of being Black. I felt ashamed about it, which is why, I don't tell people my birth name, but I will tell my birth name because I'm no longer ashamed of being Black. It's a beautiful thing to be Black, At this point in 2021, around May, life is going really great for me. I mean, I'm doing things that I've never done it before in my life. And it all seems to be so random. Like I'm traveling, I'm music, I'm doing really well in music. I mean, the songs that I were doing was getting like over 300,000 views. And mind you, my face wasn't being shown. It was someone else. I was writing theme songs. And
they talking, keep on walking. They watching, show more what's happening. Hello. You talking to a boss, never faking. I make my own rules, yeah, I stand up in my place. I am sky high, I am top tier.
It was just like, life is great. And then May happened, the ending of May. So, as I said, I've always been a busybody person, always partying, always this and that. I'm always in the mix. And I do like unique things, like going to like boat rides or mansion parties. I like things like that because I've always been like curious about like the wealthier side, as I've always been poor. So, I just liked that lifestyle. I loved it. I loved it. The kush, the prip and the proper, and I loved it. So as I've always been like this, spontaneous, on the go, I was invited to a party, an underground party. And it was like very nice. It was like an artistic kind of vibe. And, at this point I'm drinking, at this point I was a sinner. Let me tell you that. I mean, I was drinking. I mean, I've never been someone to sleep around. That's not me. Never have been, never will be. I mean, if I tell you my body count, you'd be shocked. But I don't really want to get into that. But anyways, I always been like someone who wanted to have a good time, though, meaning drinking, smoke some weed here and there, like things like that. And I went to this party and I met people. And at this party, it was weird because it was an underground artistic party. And all of a sudden, this girl, this heavyset blonde white girl comes and just kisses me on the neck. And I'm just like, okay. So after she kisses me and I'm just like shocked, I'm like, I didn't say anything. I was just like, oh no, whatever. She's probably drunk. But right after she kisses me, this other girl comes over and introduces herself to me. And I find out that she's like a billionaire. She's Jewish and, she's so nice and she speaks so nice and she's beautiful. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you like me? You like me? You want to be my friend? I'm like, yeah, cool. And, I was just like, wow, I get to meet new people. I'm friends with somebody who's like high level, the society that I always looked at and marveled at, but could never really obtain. And that's when life started to get really weird. Like really, really weird, supernatural weird. So here we're going to get into it now. After this party, me and her get, we were friends. We start hanging out more. She starts introducing me to people. I start meeting, all these different kinds of people. They're fun. They're full of life. And I'm like, I have friends, like friends that are like unique, like different, not the typical Jamaican friends. And I'm just like, because I was getting bored of them, honestly. I wanted to hang out with different people. And she was offering me knowledge. I mean, like, she started telling me about things. And remember, I'm coming from the background of running a group that exposed demonic elite. And she was talking about it. And she's like, I have a lot of answers to your questions. And I'm like, yes, more and more. So I'm getting more enthralled by her. I want more and more knowledge. It was just verifying what I already knew. She was already verifying what I knew. And you know, she's in this level of society. So I'm like, yo, she knows what she's talking about. And it obviously corroborates with the things that I already researched and already knew, like about the reptilians and all of this stuff. Because honestly, outside of the Facebook and my internet friends in regards to that, there was nobody in my life that I could talk about my findings about these reptilians and the demonic elite and the Democrats, the demonic Democrats. So when she was talking about this, I was like, oh my God, yes. I started fangirling her a little bit because finally I have somebody to talk about something that I had invested majority of my life into, which is what made me even prompt to go to these places and donate to children, is finding out what was happening to these kids. At this point, I was kind of like, not really, I mean, obviously I was always friends with his mother, but I started to like break away from her a little bit because I was like, listen, my life is going really good. And she always had problems. And I've always been someone to help her in the background. Like, this is who I've always been. I've always been someone who helps others in the background. And I just started to get really like tired of it. And I just felt myself pulling away from her and getting closer to these people. And May 31st happened. So May 31st happens. I'm out at a club. It's nighttime. I get a phone call. Mind you, my friend had taken her 2 sons to go to Jacksonville, Florida, because her friend invited her for some birthday party of some sort. And I get a call from that friend who invited my friend to Jacksonville, Florida. And she tells me that her son is dead. They found him dead in a pond. And immediately, as I'm out, I just dropped to the floor, crying, hysterically crying, gagging, because I knew what this meant for my friend. And also, I've been around this little boy all the time. I would be at her house every day, holding him, hugging him, being around him all the time. So when I got that phone call, I was just devastated. I mean, my friends that was with me was just like trying to console me because I was just like bawling my eyes out. Like he's dead? What do you mean he's dead? He can't be dead. Like, even now, like remembering, I feel like I'm about to cry. Oh God. So like I get that call, he's dead. And so I'm like, I need to talk to my friend. I need to go down to Florida, you know? And the friend is adamant on the phone. No, don't come. We'll take care of everything. And I'm just like, okay. Because, you know, I've never experienced something like this in my life. Like, people don't die around me. I don't experience things like this. Like, for the most part, I don't have any, like, real traumatic things happen to me. So then this was just like, because I knew what this did for my friend. Because her older son is autistic, completely nonverbal. And her younger son, she felt like there was more, you know, like a chance with him. Because he was talking, he was doing well. He was about to, you know, just blossom. And then this happened. It was about to be his 5th birthday. So, you know, finding this out with my friend still in Florida, you know, I decided, let me start this GoFundMe for her. Because I knew she would need that support, you know. So I started the GoFundMe. I did this. I reached out to a mutual friend of hers that I knew and another one of her friends. And I was like, hey, let's get this going. And basically the GoFundMe raised over $12,000. So when she finally came back, you know, just seeing her face, like, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't have any children myself, but I can only imagine what it feels like for a mom to lose a child so young. You know, kids like that shouldn't die like that, especially found dead in a pond. And she was broken. When I tell you, she loved her children. She taught me how to love just by watching how she was with her children. You could just see when she came back, she was, the person that I knew before was no longer there. She had become a shell of who she was when she lost her son.